Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Motive English. I'm so happy you're here today because we're going to do something very practical and very useful. Today, I'm going to teach you how to talk about your daily routine in English. That's right, your day from the moment you wake up in the morning until you go to bed at night. By the end of this video, you'll be able to describe your own routine in clear, natural English, and you'll learn some important words and phrases that native speakers use every day. Now, you might be thinking, a daily routine? Isn't that boring? Well, actually, it's not boring at all. Talking about your daily routine is a very common topic in English conversations. Whether you're chatting with friends, practicing in a classroom, or even preparing for an English exam, being able to describe your day is super important. It helps people understand your life, your habits, and it's also a great way to show your fluency and confidence in English. All right, let's get started. The first part of our day is, of course, the morning. Everyone has a morning routine, even if it's a little different every day. I want you to imagine that you are telling a friend about your morning. We will go step by step, and I'll give you examples and useful words you can use. So, the first thing in the morning is waking up. I usually wake up at 7 o'clock, but I don't get up immediately. I like to stay in bed for a few minutes to wake up slowly. During this time, I often check my phone, scroll through some news, or see if there are any messages from my friends. Now, I know some people say this is not a good habit, and maybe you agree. But the important thing is that everyone has their own way of starting the day, and you can describe it in English using words like usually, sometimes, or never. After staying in bed for a few minutes, the next thing I do is make my bed. It's a small thing, but it makes a big difference. Your room looks neat and organized, and it gives you a sense of control and accomplishment right at the start of the day. You can say, I make my bed after I wake up, or after that, I make my bed. Notice the phrase after that. This is very useful because it helps you connect actions in order. Instead of saying two short sentences, you can combine them. I wake up. After that, I make my bed. It sounds much more natural. Next, I go to the bathroom. The first thing I do is brush my teeth. This is a simple daily habit that we all do, and in English you can say, I brush my teeth in the morning, or I always brush my teeth after I wake up. Then, I wash my face with cold water. Yes, cold water. It's a bit shocking at first, but it really helps wake me up. You could say, I wash my face with cold water to feel more awake. After washing my face, I take a shower. This is another very common part of a morning routine. Some people prefer hot showers, others cold. You can say, I take a shower every morning, or I usually take a warm shower in the morning. Notice the word take. In English, we take a shower, take a bath, take a bus, and so on. It's a very useful verb that appears in many daily activities. Once I'm done with my shower, it's time to get dressed. I usually wear comfortable clothes because I want to feel relaxed, but sometimes I wear something professional if I have to meet people or go out. In English, you don't usually say, I put on my clothes. Instead, the natural way to say it is, I get dressed. And when you come home and change into comfortable clothes, you say, I get changed. These two phrases are very common when talking about daily routines. Now, let's move on to breakfast. Breakfast is my favorite meal of the day. I'm always very hungry in the morning, so I need something quick and satisfying. Usually, I drink a big cup of coffee and eat 2 slices of toast with butter. Sometimes, if I have more time, I make eggs or oatmeal. You could say I usually have coffee and toast for breakfast, or after breakfast, I wash my dishes. Notice again, after breakfast. It helps you connect actions. You can describe your routine clearly. What you eat, when you eat it, and what you do next. Some people like tea, some people like coffee. Some people eat yogurt with fruit, or cereal, or pancakes. The important thing is to describe it naturally in English, using phrases like usually, sometimes, or every morning. For example, you can say, I usually eat cereal with milk in the morning, or I sometimes drink green tea instead of coffee. Finally, after breakfast, I wash the dishes. Yes, cleaning up is part of the routine. You can say, I wash my cup and plate after breakfast, or after that, I leave my house for work. Cleaning up might seem small, but it's part of daily life, and talking about it in English makes your description complete and realistic. So, let's quickly review some key words and phrases we've learned in this part of the day. Usually, something you do most days. After that, connects actions in order. Get dressed/get changed, putting on clothes, changing clothes. Take a shower, a common way to say bathe. Breakfast habits, describe what you eat and drink. Wash the dishes, small but important daily action. All right, that covers the morning routine, from waking up to leaving for work or starting your day at home. In the next part, we will talk about how I get to work, my morning work routine, and some tips to describe your workday in English. By the way, while you practice, try to say your routine out loud, either in front of a mirror or to a friend. Use the words usually after that and get dressed. The more you practice, the more confident you will feel. Remember, speaking about your day is not just grammar, it's your life in English. Now that we've covered the morning routine, waking up, showering, getting dressed, and having breakfast, it's time to move on to the next part of the day, going to work and your morning work routine. This is a very important section because it includes actions you do outside your home and activities that show how your day progresses. So, let's start with how you get to work. Some people take the bus, some drive, some ride a bike, and others walk. In English, you can describe your transportation using phrases like, I take the bus to work, I drive to work, or I walk to work. For example, I usually take the bus because it's convenient and I can listen to music or podcasts during the ride. You could say, I usually listen to music on the bus, or I sometimes read a book while commuting. Notice the word usually. It's perfect for describing habits or routines that happen most of the time. Now, let's imagine you walk to work like me sometimes. Walking is great because it's healthy and relaxing. You can describe your walk in English like this. I walk to work every morning. It takes about 10 minutes, and I enjoy the fresh air. Even small details, like noticing the weather or people on the street, make your description richer and more natural. When I arrive at work, the first thing I do is get organized. For me, it means putting my bag away, checking emails, and making sure everything is ready for the day. In English, you can use the phrase, the first thing I do at work is check my emails, or after that, I prepare my tasks for the day. Again, notice after that. It's a very useful phrase to connect actions in the right order. Depending on your job, your morning work routine can be very different. Some people work in offices, some in shops, some at schools. For example, let's say I work in a bookshop. I open the shop, turn on the lights, switch on the computer and cash register, and make sure all the books are organized. I might also arrange displays or check stock. You can describe your tasks in English like this. I organize the shelves, I help customers find books, or I prepare the shop for the day. Using specific verbs like organize, prepare, and help makes your description clearer and professional. If you work in an office or a school, your morning can be a little different. For instance, if you're a teacher, you might check your emails first, prepare your lessons, and set up your classroom. You could say, I usually check my emails first. After that, I prepare my lessons, and I get my materials ready for the students. Using words like usually and after that makes your English sound smooth and natural. In the morning, some people also take a short break. This is very common and very useful to include in your description. For example, you can say, I have a short break at 11:30. I usually drink a cup of tea and talk with my colleagues. Let's pause here for a moment and highlight the word colleagues. This is an important word in English. It means the people you work with, not your friends or family. You can use it like this. My colleagues are very friendly. We sometimes have lunch together. It's a professional word that shows you are comfortable talking about your workplace. During the morning, your tasks might include helping customers, teaching lessons, answering emails, or organizing materials. You can describe them step by step using phrases like, first, I do this. After that, I do that. Then, I do something else. For example, I open a shop. After that, I organize the shelves. I check my emails. After that, I prepare the classroom for my students. Notice how using first, after that, then makes your routine sound logical and easy to follow. This is exactly how native speakers describe their daily routines. You don't need complicated sentences. Simple, clear steps are perfect. Now let's talk a little about work pace in the morning. Some workplaces are busy, some are quiet. If your workplace is quiet, you might have time to read or do some personal tasks. You can say, the morning is usually quiet. I often read a book or organize my notes. If it's busy, you could describe it like this. The morning is very busy. I help many customers and answer emails. Using words like often, usually, and sometimes helps you show frequency in English, which is very important for fluency. Remember, it's okay if your routine is different every day. For example, maybe on some mornings you go to the gym, or sometimes you have meetings or appointments. You can explain this in English by saying, I usually go to the gym on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or sometimes I have a morning meeting with my team. These details make your description authentic and engaging. Before we finish the morning section, let's review a few key phrases and vocabulary we've used. Get organized. Prepare your workspace or tasks. Colleagues, the people you work with. Usually / sometimes, words to describe how often something happens. After that / then / first, connecting words for actions in order. Tasks / prepare / organize / help. Action verbs for your work routine. Practicing these phrases will allow you to describe your workday clearly and confidently. Try saying your own morning work routine out loud, where you go, what you do first, and how your morning progresses. You can even record yourself and compare your English with these examples. And that's it for the morning work routine. In the next part, we will move on to lunch, the afternoon, and finishing work, and I'll show you how to describe the rest of your day naturally in English. Now that we've covered the morning, including waking up, breakfast, and getting to work, it's time to talk about lunch and your afternoon routine. This part of the day is very important because it shows how you manage your energy, focus, and responsibilities after the morning. Let's start with lunch. In English, you can talk about lunch in several ways. You can say, I have lunch at 1 p.m. every day, or I usually eat lunch around 12:30. Notice how we use usually to describe a habit that happens most of the time. Some people bring lunch from home, and some buy lunch outside. For example, I often bring a sandwich from home. Sometimes I eat at a cafe near my office. You can also describe what you eat using simple phrases like, I usually eat a salad and drink water, or I sometimes have rice and vegetables with chicken. Using words like usually, sometimes, and often is very natural when talking about routines. Now, after lunch, many people feel a little sleepy or tired. You can describe this in English. I usually feel sleepy after lunch, or sometimes I take a short walk to wake up. Talking about how you feel is an important part of describing your routine because it makes your description more personal and relatable. Next, let's move on to the afternoon routine at work. The afternoon is often busy, especially for people who work in offices, schools, or shops. You could describe your afternoon with phrases like, in the afternoon, I have meetings with my team. I teach 2 more classes in the afternoon. The shop gets busier in the afternoon, and I help more customers. Using words like after lunch, in the afternoon, and later helps you organize your sentences logically. For example, after lunch, I check my emails. After that, I prepare for my afternoon lessons. Let's talk about tasks and responsibilities. Depending on your job, you may have different things to do. For instance, if you work in a bookshop, you could say, I organize new books that arrive in the afternoon. I help customers find what they need. I check the register and make sure everything is ready for the evening. If you work in an office or as a teacher, your afternoon tasks might include, I grade assignments and prepare materials for the next day. I have meetings with colleagues to discuss our projects. I supervise or teach my students in the classroom. Notice how all these phrases use simple verbs like prepare, organize, help, check, and teach. These are perfect for describing a daily routine because they are clear, precise, and easy to remember. Some people also have short breaks in the afternoon. You could describe these in English. I take a 15-minute coffee break at 3 p.m. Sometimes I go for a short walk outside to refresh myself. Using sometimes is helpful because it shows flexibility. Not every day is exactly the same, and that's okay. English learners often ask, should I describe my routine exactly? The answer is, no need for exact details. Just explain what you usually do, and it will sound natural. Let's also talk about frequency words. You can describe your afternoon routine with words like, always, I always check my emails after lunch. Usually, I usually have a meeting at 2 p.m. Sometimes I take a walk in the park. Rarely / never. I rarely eat snacks in the afternoon, or I never skip lunch. These words make your English more precise and engaging because they show how often something happens. Another important point is connecting words. You can make your sentences flow naturally using words like, after that, I finish my emails. After that, I prepare for my lessons. Then, I teach a class. Then I check my students' work. Next, I organize the materials for the afternoon activities. When you combine these words with your tasks, your routine will sound like a story, and that makes it much easier for others to understand. Finally, let's talk about how the afternoon ends at work. You could describe the end of your workday like this. I finish my work at 5 p.m. and prepare to go home. I clean my workspace and turn off my computer. I make sure everything is ready for tomorrow. Notice the verbs finish, prepare, and clean. These verbs are simple but powerful for describing daily routines. You can even practice by saying, I finish work, then I go home. It's simple, clear, and easy for English learners to repeat. Before we close this part, let's quickly review key vocabulary and phrases from the afternoon. After lunch / in the afternoon / later for organizing actions. Usually /, sometimes / always / rarely / never to describe frequency. Prepare / organize / help / check / teach / finish. Key action verbs. Take a break / walk / refresh. Common phrases for relaxing or recharging. Colleagues / students / customers / team. Important nouns for work environments. Try practicing these phrases by describing your own afternoon routine. Start simple. After lunch, I check my emails. Then I organize my tasks for the afternoon. I sometimes take a short walk. Keep it natural, and don't worry about making it perfect. The more you practice, the more fluent you will become. And that's it for the lunch and afternoon routine. Next, we will continue with part 4, evening routine and bedtime, where I will teach you how to describe relaxing, cooking dinner, and preparing for sleep in English, along with more useful phrases for daily life. After finishing work, it's time to transition into the evening routine, which is just as important as the morning and afternoon. The evening is a time to relax, recharge, and take care of personal tasks. Let's break it down step by step. The first thing most people do when they get home is change into comfortable clothes. You can say, I get home and change into my pajamas. I put on comfortable pants and a soft t-shirt. This simple action is an important part of the routine because it signals the end of work and the start of personal time. Using phrases like get changed or change into is very natural in English when talking about evening routines. Next, many people think about dinner. You can describe dinner in English in different ways depending on whether you cook or order food. For example, I usually cook dinner at 7:30 p.m. Sometimes I order food from a restaurant if I'm too tired. You can describe what you eat with simple sentences. I often make pasta with tomato sauce. I sometimes cook chicken with rice and vegetables. I usually eat a salad and drink water. Notice how words like often, sometimes, and usually are used to describe frequency. This makes your routine sound more realistic and natural. After dinner, it's common to wash the dishes. You can say, I'll wash the dishes right after dinner. I clean the kitchen so it's ready for tomorrow. Using verbs like wash, clean, and tidy up is perfect for describing everyday household tasks. These are verbs that come up every day, so practicing them will help you speak naturally about your life. Next comes relaxation time, which is one of the most personal parts of your evening. Everyone relaxes differently. You can describe your activities like this. I watch TV or a series on Netflix. I play video games with my friends online. I read a book or call my family on a video call. You can also add time references to make it more precise. After dinner, I usually watch TV for about an hour. Sometimes, I play games online for 30 minutes. When talking about relaxation, the verb relax and the adjective relaxed are very useful. For example, I relax by reading a book. I feel relaxed after I take a walk. Playing games helps me feel relaxed and happy. It's also common to exercise in the evening if you didn't have time in the morning. You can say, I sometimes go to the gym after work. I go for a walk in the park in the evening. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do a short workout at home. Using phrases like sometimes, on specific days, or after work adds variety to your routine description and helps English learners understand how to express flexibility in their day. Finally, let's talk about bedtime. A bedtime routine helps you sleep well and prepare for the next day. Common steps include: I brush my teeth and wash my face before bed. I set my alarm for the next morning. I read a book for 20 minutes before sleeping. Notice how verbs like brush, wash, set, and read are simple but essential. These actions make your bedtime routine structured and clear. Some people use phones before bed, but it's better to avoid it. Instead, you can say, I'll look at my phone for a few minutes, but I know reading a book is better for sleep. You can also describe your sleep time. I usually go to sleep at 11 p.m. I need 8 hours of sleep to feel good in the morning. Using phrases like usually, need to, and feel good helps English learners describe their habits clearly and naturally. To summarize the evening routine, here's a simple step-by-step outline you can follow and practice. Get home and change into comfortable clothes. Prepare and eat dinner. Wash dishes and tidy up the kitchen. Relax. Watch TV, read a book, play games, or talk to family. Exercise if desired. Prepare for bed. Brush teeth. Wash face, set alarm. Read or relax in bed, then go to sleep. Using connecting words makes your routine sound fluent. After work, I change my clothes. After that, I make dinner. Then I wash the dishes. Later, I relax by reading a book. Key vocabulary and phrases for the evening and bedtime. Get change/change into for comfortable clothes. Cook/order/eat/drink dinner phrases. Wash/clean/tidy up household tasks. Relax/feel relaxed personal time. Exercise/go for a walk/workout physical activity. Brush teeth/wash face/set alarm/read bedtime routine. Usually /sometimes/often/after that/then/later. Organizing and frequency words. Practice saying these sentences aloud to describe your own evening routine. For example, after work, I change into my pajamas. I usually cook dinner. After that, I wash the dishes. Then I watch a series for 30 minutes. Finally, I brush my teeth, wash my face, and read a book before going to sleep. This method helps you speak naturally, confidently, and in order. The goal is to be able to describe your entire day, from morning to bedtime, using simple, clear English. Now that we've gone through a full day, from morning to bedtime, it's time to review the most important words and phrases you can use to describe your daily routine. Learning these will help you speak clearly and confidently about your day. Let's start with frequency words. Usually, something that happens most of the time. Example, I usually wake up at 7 a.m. Sometimes, something that happens occasionally. Example, I sometimes go to the gym in the evening. Often, something that happens many times but not every day. Example, I often drink coffee after breakfast. Never, something that does not happen at all. Example, I never watch TV in the morning. Next, we have connecting words and phrases, which help organize your sentences naturally. After that, use to connect two actions in order. Example, I brush my teeth. After that, I wash my face. Then/later/next, other ways to sequence actions. Now, let's review routine verbs and actions. Get up, to leave the bed. Make the bed, to organize your bed in the morning. Brush/wash/take. As in brush teeth, wash face, take a shower. Get dressed/get changed. To put on clothes in the morning or change into comfortable clothes in the evening. Cook/eat/drink describing meals. Wash/clean/tidy up describing household chores. Relax/feel relaxed describe your personal downtime. Exercise/go for a walk/workout physical activity. Finish to complete an activity. Example, I finish work at 5 p.m. Set alarm to prepare for the next day. These words and phrases are the building blocks to describing your day from start to finish. Practice them regularly, and soon you'll be able to speak naturally about your own routine. Question of the day. To make your practice even more effective, I have a question for you. Answer in the comments or say it aloud to yourself. The question is, what is your favorite part of the day and why? Here are some examples you can follow. My favorite part of the day is the morning because I enjoy a quiet breakfast with tea. I like the evening because I can relax and watch a TV series. Afternoon is my favorite because I go for a walk in the park and feel refreshed. Remember to use the vocabulary and phrases we learned today when answering. Usually, sometimes, after that, relax, get changed, take a shower, etc. This is a great way to practice your English naturally. Writing or speaking about your own routine helps you remember the words and build confidence. Today we learn how to talk about our daily routines from morning to bedtime. Practiced useful verbs and actions like get up, brush, get dressed, cook, relax. Reviewed connecting words like after that, then, later to organize sentences. Learn frequency words like usually, sometimes, often, never. Answered a personal question to practice using English in a real-life context. Now it's your turn. Speak about your routine, write it in the comments, or even record yourself describing your day. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to talk confidently about your life in English. Remember, practice every day, stay consistent, and enjoy your learning journey. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this lesson, give it a thumbs up, share with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more English practice. Keep speaking, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.